after a point of time when you really have to rise up the ranks, somewhere this whole element of management comes in because you're not working with robots.
Sales and marketing is paid well, compensated well for the effort that we do.
Well, I come from a B computer science background, so more of a technical background. So my decision to choose an MBA was purely based on the skill set I was looking for. Though engineering was very technical in nature, somehow after 2 years of experience, I felt I think I'm exhausted in doing what I was doing.
Monotony is really boring, right? And especially me being from a business family, I learned one thing that management is more about the discipline that you bring in to learn how to manage situations, learn how to manage things, irrespective of what job, what work you're in. Never wanted to be in, science graduate just to be, in that profession. Never wanted to be an engineering graduate, although my interests are still, doing all the engineering at home. But the key part was that, do something which makes you feel you're doing something new every day. Meeting clients, meeting people, speaking about things, challenges in marketing, living under pressure every single day to deliver something is something that gives you the adrenaline that you're looking at.
Is it like, does it feel like you are submitting every day as you get done with that day? Do you feel that adrenaline rush? That
initially, you always have a ratio between physical and mental pressure. Initially, the physical is too high, mental is much lesser. Over time, when you grow in your career, the physical goes down, the mental goes really up. But you have to continue maintaining that,
Coming from a very small town, you don't have a lot of exposure on what do you really choose and what choice takes you where. Because you look at what all your peers are doing and you think that this is what will take me to place X to place Y. And I used to get fairly good marks in my 11th and 12th and so on and so forth. And that it was a time when everybody was taking up chartered accountancy, because it felt like, you're a commerce graduate in 11th and 12th and you have good marks, you have surpassed the 95 number, then you're going to take up accounts. So I bought into this fad and I wrote my entrance, and no offense to my very close friends who are also chartered accountants, I just couldn't grab my head around drawing accounts and doing this balance, or even keeping myself updated to all the new amendments that used to come. But that's when I realized that your calling is actually what you really liked all along, and that's where the MBA lies. And I think that's how I started doing a lot of research on my own to understand where are the different colleges, what can I study. And because since I had finance and accounts as some sort of a background, I decided maybe an MBA in finance would be a really good path for me to choose. But it's a game of coincidences and game of outliers, because I took finance but I'm doing strategy today. So I think that's where the world is really endless when it comes to management, because you can do
no boundaries.
There's no boundaries.
There are no boundaries, and it's a very seamless shift which you can have, but it all depends on your interests, So a finance guy can obviously get into a marketing, and a marketing can get into a HR. So you very rightly mentioned, Vidya, that it's a good flow in terms of, or if you want to juggle between roles and all of it, so you can very easily do. So this flexibility will only get when you have an MBA.
Yeah. And I think it's also come to a point where now, if you see, even though people come with very solid technical background, I think you will resonate with this. After a point of time when you really have to rise up the ranks, somewhere this whole element of management comes in, because you're not working with robots, although AI is a big thing today. At the end of the day, the people who are going to put AI to use are human. So human capital is like an organic extension of management, probably. I think that's where this whole picking up MBA is very important, to really raise up the rank.
The organizations also understand the importance of sales and marketing, that no matter what you create, till the time you don't have people who market this rightly, until the time you don't have people to sell this rightly, it doesn't work. So if you ask me honestly, short answer, sales and marketing is paid well, compensated well for the effort that we do. At least that's what I have experienced all through.
Marketing is not just the function of marketing, okay? It's the function of the entire organization, right? And I would take pride in saying this, you know, I mean, it's just not confined to the department. Now, having said that, when it comes to compensation, okay, people feel that, okay, sales and marketing, good salaries and packages, but salaries and benchmarking of salaries, it all depends on industries also which you're in, right? And I'm sure that all of you would agree, and of course, Avinash, you know, coming from tech of course pays you well, right? And so it's very important to see the PE ratio, right? Where the organization is, or which organization you're associated with, how is it faring financially, economically, brand wise, and all of it. So of course that is a standing when it comes to compensation or package per se, but I would say it's the aptitude and the attitude and the skill set which you have. If you really have these, then I think sky is the limit, and you can definitely command the salary. Way back then, you know, when we opted for our colleges, or we were deciding on which college to, you know, go for as far as MBA was concerned, the things which I definitely looked at was, you know, the educators or the faculty. That's very important, and the industry interface which was being given. Now things have changed. So if somebody has to decide today, you know, there'll be many parameters they would be actually looking at when it comes to deciding on a B school, and I'm sure that placements would be at the top of their mind, because it's a competitive world out there, you know, and you have to be really, really good enough, you know, to compete against that.
Yeah, it's a great, what I can say is like, it's a completely different experience. In India, when you work, you have a, there's somebody to, ask, you can call up, or you know how people react when you ask a basic question. You know how people react to you when you don't know, or maybe you can always, piggyback on something. But when you're abroad, people come so prepared. If you're in a consulting role and you're being paid very high for that consulting activity, they expect that you are the one who's going to tell me the answer, and there isn't if and buts there. You have to give a solution, and the right one. I felt in abroad versus the mentor-mentee program, the networking. So I never experienced mentor-mentee program when I was working in India. When I went to United States, one of the consulting firms I was working, they had mandatory Friday networking sessions. Mandatory Friday networking sessions. Every Friday we used to have party, not to just chill out, but rather just to talk, what am I doing in my project, what are you doing in your project, how can I help you with my skill set, and how can you help me with my skill set. So that kind of sharing never happened when I was in India, because we never had that platform.
If I have to look at, the jobs, the roles of sales and marketing, I think, sales and marketing is going to stay forever. No matter how much AI, no matter how much technology comes in, sales and marketing will play the most important role. And this was 20 years back when we were talking about internet, right? 25 years back. This was 15 years back when technology changed to something else. 10 years back, technology changed to something else. AI has been with us for a pretty long time now, right? Simple examples are, the easier examples I would say are YouTube, AI. Anything that you do today has AI, but it's just that it is getting discussed a lot more today. We have adopted then as human beings, and we are going to adopt it now again. There are many questions we get that, is it going to impact jobs? Is it going to impact lives? I think technology, every time when it has come, it has impacted only the places or the jobs which were redundant in nature, things which were really not making value. But ultimately we need to, think of it this way, that, AI was created by humans, right? And if we use it the right way, organizations are going to use AI to improve business. And if business is improving, sales and marketing roles are going to be much more stronger.
90% of your buyers are already acquainted, aware, and they know what they want, where to go, how will they find it, who's the competition, what are the options. It's all overwhelming. But there's a non-product side to it. And that's wherein the human intervention comes into picture. You know, might connect with what, let's say, Akash told me about this particular product I'm going to be buying in, right? How I am, you know, incentivizing my patron or the person who's coming to me for buying every now and then, all right? AI cannot do this. So as Vidya was also mentioning, the creativity part, okay, the strategizing part, by the end of the day, AI was also when human made AI, yeah? So you will need that human touch when it comes to sales and marketing. And I'm of course buying in the fact that people who are coming into this sector or in any industry for that matter have to be updated about it.
I have a point here is like AI is definitely impacting in few places because of the data points, right? See, the human brain can crunch only these many data points, but AI, because today we are developing solutions which is not only learning consumer behavior, like even in IT solutions, there are consumers who consume, adopt and do decisions in the system, and you know, we have technology in place now. It is understanding and learning why they are making this decision and what was the rationale behind this decision. So machines are learning these decision patterns, and we are, honestly speaking, we are on a verge, or we are almost there to come out with a auto-driven or you know, self-driven enterprise modules. A self-driven enterprise module is something where machine takes the all non-critical decisions and critical decisions, that too with a pinch of, like, you know, advice, saying that you might, it suggests you and says that take this decision, it will help you. So AI is doing that kind of data crunching which human minds could never do earlier.
But this is where I had a question. You know, I'm still a novice in terms of, you know, understanding this. I always feel that you know, while certain things can still be done by AI, and there is a lot of you know, shrinkage of time in terms of productivity or whatever you say, will human relevance really come down? A, and B, I also feel like in terms of, a lot of people might argue also, like, you know, AI also can think laterally, or AI can also think creatively. Like, you know, I get your point, but look at the smallest of the things, like how they implement this AI is also being done by humans. And the second thing is, when I see a lot of banking calls that happen, right? Today there are chat bots and stuff which try to help you, but they really don't help you. It just goes in circles, and you know, then there is finally a guy who's picking up the call.
The kind of solution,
yeah.
I mean, what you said is absolutely right, but there are more matured solution which is being placed in places where it pays high. You know, you don't want to implement a very advanced AI solutions in places like a banking. That's why you have not exposed to it. But we are seeing solutions which are very advanced, which is capable of learning itself how a decision is being taken by set of X users and why did they take, and then it documents it and it starts keeping tracking of that, and it comes to the point where it knows that next time a scenario like this happens, the human would have taken the similar decision. That's where the learning of capability, model learning is coming.
How humans try to make themselves much more stronger in terms of, you know, or rather specific to what is required, is what is going to play the game. The quality will play more than quantity. It will impact jobs. I have not said no. But yes, if you are capable, you will still find ways to work alongside AI rather than against the AI.
You will work as an augmenting. AI will be a decision supporting hand
More
rather
of
than
a
decision
facilitating.
overriding.
Yeah, so AI more will be facilitating, as you know, the back-end jobs and what Vidya was mentioning, you know, all this data crunching and catapulting everything and all of it. That of course, you know, AI will do, and it is definitely facilitating. And as a marketer, I would say, you know, a Zapier, a 7 Sense, all these tools help me a lot, which I was like struggling before. But having said that, rightly said, Akash, you know, we'll have to go hand in hand.
It's just versus or with, that's the thing.
The best advice I would say for a younger one who's entering the organization is be committed, have patience. It's a journey, it's not a short trip. So be committed and be doing what you're doing. Improvise, adopt. These are the things which it all falls under that umbrella that, you know, you need to be committed and things will work for you.
It's not just about getting into the organization, even before getting into the organization. Patience is the key word for our people now. Patience I see is the least with people. My kid who's a teenager has least patience to even listen to what he'll come with all the expectations. Okay, what is this about? And I try explaining. Okay, that's fine, understood, then go. The patience piece really plays a role, because firstly you have to be patient in terms of identifying the right organization, right? It's not just about getting into the organization, it's about getting into the right organizations, thinking about your own interests and desires. That's one. Secondly, when it comes to patience, things don't work by a flip that I have gotten, now I am a manager and I'm whatever, etc. Takes time. We need to have patience to learn and grow. Second thing is, it's not always smart work. It's a combination of hard work and smart work. Like I always say, you have to find the balance. Where it needs hard work to learn, you need to do hard work. Where it needs smart work, you don't want to be a donkey there. You can just work, get it done.
I think one other skill which all young folks is the ability to face a failure. So it's one of the most important. If you fail, it's okay. We all fail. There's nothing new. People have been failing from ages, decades, I think centuries. So it's okay to fail, but you need to have the tenacity to stand back up. It's okay to get lower increments. It's okay to get delayed promotions, but do not lose the patience. That's all I can. That's how I summarize this.